Everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons & Doom Biscuit, and I have another awesome creature for the Crowshriek area. This creature might not be awesome, though. So, my idea of this creature is called a Fatcat. So, I have a hippo here. I'm going to remove his butt decoration, and let's see if I can get his head. I'm going to need something bigger for the head. He's a chunky boy, but I want to make a Fatcat, so that's kind of what I want. Wow, that's shattered. And I'm going to leave some of this stuff behind for now. Well, this is looks like chocolate that you had from Halloween that you left sit too long, back when they used to give out Tootsie Rolls and shit like that. Like, oh man, it's like 4 months old. I'm eating it anyways. Let's hope this head doesn't shatter. But first, let's take this dude's tail, because we're going to want that for our Fatcat. Let's get his head and hope it doesn't shatter, but it very well might. Nice. Snip that flat on the back the best I can. It's not going to be perfect because my shears are getting dull and I don't want to use my new ones all up. That's where that was. This is where I wanted to go. All right. So let's get a sanding block and try to flatten that out a little bit better. Okay. Now it should grip a lot better. We could pin it. To make sure it stays where we want it to. Because I don't want it to be straight on, by the way. I want it to be a little bit off. My dream is that it would be a little bit to the side like that. So to do that, we're going to use the ancient trick that I don't remember where I learned it. You want to know how to pin something and get the spot to hit where you want it to hit? You get a toothpick. You get paint. You rub it around the hole. Probably should use something a little thicker. You set it there. When you pull it off, you should have a little indent on where that goes. And if you drill directly into it at the angle which you had planned, you should get a good result, in theory. This one doesn't drill as nice, but that's okay. Then you put your paint away. And we're done with our miniature. So, oh wait, no, we are not done with our miniature. I was mistaken. All right, we're going to get a little piece of stick here. And we're going to shove it in there with a little bit of glue. Like that. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. And hope that I made this hole deep enough. Because I did not dry fit it. Lo and behold, that looks stupid. Nice. Exactly what we wanted. Let's make his butt a little flatter back there. And let's start filling in around, you bastard, this neck, and fill that up. So I'm just going to get some glue. Kind of start working it into that crack. You're probably thinking to yourself, this thing is hideous. Yeah, it is. You are correct. It is hideous. And that is kind of a good thing. We're going to get this tail. We're going to nip this off flat so it has a better surface for bonding. We could pin that, but I don't think we're going to need to. And then when you put this on him, understand that if you come down at too low of an angle, it's going to hit the ground. So you got to kind of come up above where it would normally go. And then I'm going to clean that up. Dibby dabba glizoo. Okay. And this could be dabs of glazoo, or how we're going to sturdy bad boy it so it doesn't come apart. We're obviously going to come back on here and do some texture too. So, what we want to do is we want to start out with a thin coat of glue across the back area, something like this, and then you can kind of smooth it out some. We don't want to cover up the fat rolls of the hippo. We want to try to hold those into the build. If we cover them up a little bit, that'll be okay, but we don't want to go overboard with that. And then there's a hole in the side of him from where he was molded. We're going to clean that up too. All right, so to make sure we have a smooth... I lost my lighter. There it is. Here we go. Not a lighter, I apologize. This is the minor burning hand spell. You might think it's a lighter. You would be mistaken. And I'm just going to smooth this area up some, just a little bit. Then I'm going to let it sit for a moment. While that's happening, I'm going to make some way to work with this a little easier, and that's going to be to put it on this base. So I'm going to flip him over, glue his feet, and get him on here. Now hopefully my base fits him, and it seems to. Now you see how smooth his back is. We're going to have to turn that into like a, with our hot glue gun, we're going to turn that into a little bit of fur texture, but we have some things we got to do first. So let's get some glue and support his tail a little bit. There we go. Something like that. And then just use a popsicle stick or a toothpick or a piece of cardboard. To scoop off any of that excess glue, like that. Let's get a good bond there. And I'm sure he's stuck to the base, but just in case he isn't. All right. I think he's good and on the base. And let's start working on some texture. So we're just going to rub our glue gun through there and create a fur-like texture. And make sure you drag it in those cracks where his head was to continue any cat-like texture from the head back down the body. See that texture? It's not ideal, but it'll do what we want it to, I promise. It'll give the illusion that there's some fur there. Again, theatrics. A lot of D&D crafting is about optics and about the look. It's not about perfection. Unless you're one of those hardcore mini painter collectors that is like an excellent painter that spends days painting every miniature. The truth is you're building a collection up so that you have monsters to populate your table. You have terrain to help tell a story. So here's where we are on our Fatcat. We have turned him from a hippo into whatever this is. He's pretty sturdy. Everything's how we want it to be. I'm going to hit some little bits of spider webs and shit. And let's spray him with clear coat and paint him. Sorry, I have to walk over here. I have like a ventilated spray paint thing. Which I'll be making a new ventilated spray paint thing as we continue to rework the shop here. In the background, one day maybe I'll show you the shop. So what I want to do is this guy's going to be maybe, I don't know what color I want to make him yet. Let me think about it for a minute. Ooh, I got a lot of stuff down here in my way. Let's base coat him in gray. I'm getting a medium pewter gray. And let's hope this does a good base coat. I don't know if it will. It might. Sorry, I was listening to some Mungo Huey or Mungo Jerry or whatever his name is on the YouTubes while I was playing a game upstairs, and that song was in the summertime. Mungo Jerry? I don't remember what it is, but it's like this crazy song, and the dude's wearing like a fishnet shirt, and it's before my time, but I enjoyed it. I know the song. I mean, it's in the summertime when the moon is... I don't know the words, but I know the song. It's a pretty good song. I think it's Mungo Jerry. Mungo Huey was a local band years ago when I came back from the Army that was playing around. That's what it is. Believe it or not, they had a couple changes in roster or something, and they died. They were not, a national band. They were a local deal. Now I'm going to hit him with some air, or hot air, and kind of get another coat on him real quick, because that it's just not thick enough to really... Now, here's what people don't know about the Fatcat, is they're actually not fat. Fatcat is muscle. It's like Kingpin from Marvel. It looks fat, but it's muscle. And it's got thick coating with very, very, like, impenetrable hide on its top. So you have to hit it on the underside to do full damage to it, or to ignore its severe armor anyways. I think in my system I'm going to run it to where it, unless you specifically roll percentile to see where you hit it or whatever, I don't know, haven't decided yet, but I do know that the whole premise of this guy is that they are really, really slow compared to the other cats. They only have a movement speed of 30, even though they're size large cat. And the other size large cats have 40s and 50s, depending on what they are. This one's got a 30. It also does not have the ability to climb trees or anything, but it does have a vicious pounce attack. These guys live in the mud. I'm going to get underneath here. I got orange showing. These guys live in the mud, and their coat's dry, muddy. And while we're doing this, let's get the base coated too. So let's get our dark brown and get a first coat down on this base. Today's Lady Doom's birthday, and she doesn't know it yet. But shortly here, I'll be going to pick up her cake and ice cream and stuff. And then at 5 o'clock, there will be festivities. She will just be getting home because my dad is having her pick him up at work. And I will be here putting up decorations. She must know something's up, because my dad asked her to pick him up from work on her birthday. He usually would not. I got some of the brown on his feet. That's okay. I don't care. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. Let's dry this base off. We'll come back and fix that gray. smaller brush to come in and do that gray work again, so that I don't get it all over the base. I just did. Should have done it the first time. Used a smaller brush, but I didn't. I was being a little lazy. Oh, look at that. A little bit of orange creeping out of his butt. Unless we make the lure that they have weird orange buttholes, we're going to leave that go. Alright. There's a little bit of orange poking out right there too. We'll get rid of that. Now we're going to need a dry brush. So let's get our cardboard. Yes, I have more cardboard. I just keep using these pieces. I get in these. Okay, so here's the deal. It's very hard to stay environmentally conscious, because we as a culture are taught that everything is, waste and everything is, whatever. So I go through these spats where I'm like super conscious about stuff. Try not to use paper towels to wipe up messes down here. Try to use old t-shirts and stuff that can be reused and washed and things like that. And then I forget, or I get out of the habit for a while, and I start using paper towels and disposable things. Like, I save these, and when they dry, I use them again. But then sometimes I'll get mad and I'll throw them all away because they're not dry or they're whatever. So it's just a matter of trying not to be a hypocrite about things, but end up being a hypocrite about things is what it really comes down to. So I'm going to get a lighter gray. This is called elephant gray. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Damn it. I lost my elephant gray. Here we go. Oh, this one's really wet. We don't want that one. Nice. Elephant gray. And then we just want to find any details that might be on this guy and create a nice varied undertone. You can see some of that hair starting to pop. Then we're going to get a lighter color. This is called granite gray. And we're going to get the granite gray. We're going to steal some of that. And we're also going to steal a very light blue. This is called China blue. And we're going to steal a tiny bit of that. So I'm going to get that gray, that light gray, and that China blue. If her daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If her daddy's poor, then just do what you feel. What a terrible line in the song. That's from that Mungo Jerry song, man. It's terrible. All right. Then last but not least, I'm going to get a medium blue. I'm going to get rid of that brush. I'm going to get my regular brush. I'm going to get some water. Here we go. Some of that medium blue. Real thin. And I'm going to do his face in that medium blue. I'm going to try not to get down in his eyes if I can help it. There's a very blatant seam on this miniature that I didn't really feel like fighting with. If you're doing yours, you might want to. I did not. It's not worth it to spend that much time fighting with it. I know those little pimples on his face are. Those are gross. Fat cats. Why do they exist? Where do they come from? Is there lore behind them? Well, yes and no. They are a naturally occurring species. They are not a magical creature in general. However, the fat cats in the Crowshriek are kind of what you would consider to be an upgraded creature. They have been blessed by the unknown god, and they are used to punish the wild folk that do not do the unknown god's bidding. And then on the tip of his tail, now, when you see a fat cat out and about, they generally are not going to look blue because they've been laying in mud and they've covered themselves in mud and crud and dirt as a natural defense, because in this area they don't have camouflage. But they're not from this area. They actually live in the cold North Mountains. Which is one of the reasons they're fat and heavy and thick and have that big fur, so they can survive in the mountains. Let's get a small brush and do something with those eyes. I'm going to get off-white. For my off-white, I'm using antique white with a damp brush. Just going to hit those eyeballs. And I could go back and clean that up, but it's not noticeable that I messed up. Now with that being done, we have one more step. Let's get dark blue. This is a very wet mountain blue. And I say very wet. I didn't make it very wet. It kind of came that way. And I'm going to get a brush that's very soft. I'm going to get some of that mountain blue. And that blue goes right up to their ears, on the top of their little head, and just a little bit around their main area. And something like that. I'd like to do his claws in black or pavement or something real quick, and then I think I'm going to finish up the base and kind of call that complete. So I'm getting a small brush. My favorite color in the whole world, pavement. What I'm going to do is nasty little hippo toes. Okay. And then we'll come back and do the base. I'm getting a medium brush. This is that burnt umber and just a smaller thing. All right, something like that. Some black. How did the fat cat, pardon me, get down here in the Crowshriek? Well, nobody really knows. The wild men don't keep recorded history besides word of mouth. And generally, modern people that hear word about there being fat cats down here don't believe it. Adventurers, travelers, explorers, merchants tell stories. And if you don't spend a lot of time investigating those stories, many times, unless you're a peasant or someone who just wants to believe in what you're hearing, you're gonna ignore that. You're not gonna think it's real or true. When they say there's fat cats down here, the scholars and learned people of the world are gonna go, yeah, right. And the people that want to believe it are gonna believe it. Fat cats are never found outside of their area. However, they are more intelligent than most wild creatures. They don't speak. They communicate with a series of body language and purrs. However, the unknown God can speak to them and make them the offer that he makes. Serve me, keep my people in line, and I will give you unnaturally long life. So the fat cats, wanting to live forever and eat and grow strong, take the deal. The trade-off is, and they don't know this because they're not told this, is they cannot reproduce anymore. So the fat cats who gain this unnaturally long life and this strength become sterile as part of the curse of what they've chosen. So you'll never see baby fat cats down in the Crowshriek. Hopefully, we'll eventually find out what the deal is with the Crowshriek, why it's a sinister place that modern people have abandoned and crazy, uncivilized, bestial type humanoids have taken over. What happened here? This used to be part of the established kingdoms of man. The elves and the gnomes and the humans and the halflings and the dwarves, and everything in between used to come here and hunt. It was the king's hunting grounds at one point. And then all of a sudden, centuries go by and no one goes there. So there's the fat cat. I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time to hang out with me today. It means a lot. I know there's a lot of content on YouTube. I watch it myself sometimes. Mostly I watch videos about comedians and stuff, but hey, you know. You think I'd be funnier, but I'm just effing not. So, let's talk about the algorithm gods and their demands and how we can appease them so that our channel doesn't die. Because this channel is our channel, because without you guys, it wouldn't be here. You know, if I'd have never hit the 30 subscribers I was aiming for, I wouldn't have kept going, you know. So it's a big deal that you guys are here with me. So please, let's do what the gods want, the algorithm gods want, and let's like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave a comment, and all that happy crappy. If you like what I'm doing here and you like miniatures, why don't you head over to dungeonswag.com. The link will be in the description at some point, if it won't be when this video posts. And check out our miniatures there. Not these miniatures, real high quality, beautiful Dungeon Swag miniatures. Let me show you the I think this was the January box of Gnolls. So there's like a Gnoll Shaman. Here's like a Gnoll Barbarian. Yeah, these are really pretty, I know. Here's like a Gnoll Warrior. And no, I did not put him together correctly. I did some customizing because I wanted to do something. Here's another Gnoll Warrior. I did put him together correctly. And last but not least, I have a Gnoll Archer. Look at that. Woo! Fancy. So if you like that stuff, check it out. We got a discount code in the description. If you get our monthly box, that'll get you whatever the discount is. I forget. I'm not the money guy. I am the make garbage in the basement guy. So anyways, come to our Discord. We're playing games on there, video games, and sometimes RPGs, but not as much lately. I've been working a lot. We've been playing the video game Quinfall. It's pretty fun. And you're welcome to come on there and hang out with us and play that if you'd like. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.